What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine. And as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career.
You think we should change that up at all, our intro? It's been the same for a long time.
I like the continuity of it, but I do think we need to add a song. We've been talking about it for so long. I think we need to add a song.
And what were we just talking about the other day?
Starting band.
We write our own song. Yeah.
All right.
That's actually, one of the things that I've kind of always been jealous of. People that get to create jingles.
I've heard that there's like a lot of money in it.
Oh,
Like it's
there's
hard to
gotta
land
be.
them, but if you it's like really good money.
You got to be good.
Oh, definitely.
You got to be really good. One that like really sticks in your head,
Yeah.
that Empire Carpet one. I'm not sure if that's a worldwide, nationwide thing, so people might not get the reference, but
Do you want to sing it for us? Give us a little taste of that one.
I'm really on the spot right now, and I kind of forget exactly how it goes, but moral of the story, we need a jingle.
Okay.
We need a jingle.
Okay.
Well, onward.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll put that on the list for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What are we getting into this week?
We're getting into just a very, very hot topic because it's spring.
It is spring. Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung, and we've all heard of spring cleaning.
Yep.
What does that mean? Cleaning out your house, cleaning out your
Oh, you
car.
gotta open the windows.
Oh, yeah.
Open those windows. Open those
my-
sashes. Clean those screens.
Oh, my
Take the
God.
storm windows out and put the screens up, huh?
Yeah. My mom was like the worst with that. She's like so adamant that like it's always stuffy. I'm like, just keep the windows closed. Like, it's just stuffy.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That was just an impression of my mother. She doesn't really actually have that much of a Philadelphia
No, not
accent,
at all.
But that's what it would be like.
Yeah.
All right, Helen, let's go. She doesn't talk like that at all.
Not even close. No, she has like such a dainty, nice little voice.
Yeah.
But anyway, wow, we're getting sidetracked already. But anyway, spring cleaning of the mind, body, and business. And soul, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
This is something that we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
You said, I feel like I need a spring cleaning of everything.
Yeah.
I just need a mental reset.
I'm feeling pretty foggy and like just I feel like there's a lot of mental clutter right now for some reason, and I
Yes.
just need to
Break free of that.
break free of that. I need to just clean out this clutter in my brain, in my house, in my car, in the MCC, most importantly,
Yeah, big time clutter right now in there.
in the business. So I thought this would be a nice thing to talk about.
Yeah, you first mentioned it, and I was like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That doesn't even make any sense. And then I was like, you know what? That actually sounds exactly like what I need right now. I need a mental reset. You just need like that little bit of a end point to something where you prepare for the next phase.
Yeah.
And the last couple of years, we've been working straight through the winter, so there hasn't been like that week or 2 weeks or month where you can stop, shut down, and like just do all those little things to set you up for success. And it's a lot of little things.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
It's a lot of little things, both external, internal, the whole nine.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to maybe touch on a little bit of 75 hard.
Yeah, and maybe some running goals updates.
Maybe some running goal updates as it is the last day of the month.
Yes.
And I also wanted to dive back in on the power of saying no.
Okay.
It's been on my mind lately.
Sleeper talk. Okay.
I didn't mention that. I
No,
didn't
you
mention
didn't.
that as a topic, but it is something that I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I will, with your permission.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get into these goals first, though. So how's your running goal going? It's March 31st as we are recording this.
It is. As the crow flies, it is March 31st.
Let's start off with what was your goal?
For January, 50 miles. February, 55 miles.
Nailed both of those, right?
What is it, March? Yeah, March. 60 miles.
Okay.
It's March 31st.
Yeah.
It's currently 2:54 p.m.
Right.
I have 11 miles to go. I have 11 miles to go.
Okay.
And
Your own personal almost half marathon?
my own personal almost half marathon, and I'm going to do it tonight.
And you just have like after this, you're just free. You're not doing anything that might prevent
I'm going
you.
out to dinner. I have a dinner date scheduled for tonight at 6:45. So figure I'll be home by 8:30. I can maybe get out on the road by 9.
Okay.
So we're talking probably like a 9 to almost 11 situation.
Are you going to be, what if it like goes a little bit late? Are you going to be, what if it's like 11:58? You're about to cross that finish line. You're sprinting. That's kind of what I have in my mind. Like that's what I'm envisioning. You're just bushed. You're so tired.
You're
just,
what? Bushed?
Yeah.
What is that?
You're tired.
Like gassed? Like
Yeah.
You're gassed. You're bushed?
Yeah, you never heard that?
Never heard that. No.
Oh,
That sounds like an Alabama thing.
It could be.
Probably.
Could definitely be.
Okay. Yeah, and what? And I don't hit 11 miles by...
Well, like, what if
It's
you
like
hit that?
12:01.
Yeah.
I'm going to count it. Yeah, I'm not... I'm going to count it.
Okay.
I'll say, how about this? If the run starts before midnight, I'm counting it.
Okay. Fair.
And you know what? Worst case scenario, I don't do it. I'm going to get right back on the horse and I'm going to attack April's goal.
That's a great outlook, Sean.
Thank you so much, but I'm not going to need to because I'm going to hit it. I think one of the things that went wrong for me this month was I did too many big runs.
I was gonna say you came out pretty hot, right? You've already done like
I did a 12 miler,
Yeah.
and then the very next week I did a half marathon, 13.1.
yeah.
And I was way ahead of schedule. I was on pace to do like 110 miles like the first week of the month. And then that slowed me up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I gotta pace it out a little bit more, make it more of a daily kind of thing, maybe at least 4 or 5 runs a week.
Yeah.
Maybe just sprinkle in, some of those long runs. But I was just like, I was going all out on the long runs, and I think it took its toll on me a little bit. It took me a couple days to really get my legs under me again. So
Yeah.
that will be adjusted for.
A good
And-
lesson in pacing.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
that's what the outcome is here.
A good lesson in pacing. Yes.
Yeah.
My pacing on the run's great,
Right.
but the monthly log of miles came out too hot. Came out
the
too
gate
hot.
Too hot. And that's like the first rule of running.
Don't come out too hot. Yeah. It's exactly what I did. So,
Well, great job. I believe in you.
thank you so much.
What about your book goal? Where's that at?
My book goal? I'm doing pretty good. So I am, I'm a little bit behind schedule, I guess, on that. Right now, I think I'm on book 9 or 10. So I've read some really good ones. I think the last one that we talked about was Endure by Cam Hanes, which I finished that one right around when I was doing all the long runs. So
Gotcha.
that's about like all type of endurance stuff. So maybe that had me hyped up. Next book I read, The Ride of a Lifetime. It's about the CEO of Disney.
Okay.
Really interesting.
What's that guy's name?
Robert Iger.
Iger. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really interesting because he is the CEO of Disney, which you think of as like the ultimate creative, imaginative company. But he actually comes from more of a like management background. His first venture into entertainment was he was rising the ranks in ABC, and he became head of entertainment for all of ABC. And he had like no entertainment experience. So it was really interesting to see what his mindset was on fostering creativity from a non-creative person. So like that balance of being creative, pushing the limits and encouraging people to do so, but also having to balance the fiscal responsibilities and the investors and the chair. What do they call that? The chair, the board, the board,
The board. Yeah.
the board, the board,
The board.
the board.
Yeah.
Having to balance all those things out. That was really interesting. So I read that one, and now I'm actually reading a book about Pixar, the founding of Pixar, and it's called Creativity Inc. So I'm gonna like a little bit of a creativity spree right now. So that one's pretty good as well.
Okay.
So
Check that out.
what do you got going on? 75 hard.
75 hard.
Sounds hard. Have we talked about it at all?
I don't know. I'd love to talk about it though.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you give us an update?
Yeah. Still doing it. Day 55. Had that minor water slip up. Water sucks. I hate it now. It's ruining my life. When I do this again, which I'm already committed to doing this again in the fall, and I'm going to do it again, but I'm not going to do the water part.
Okay.
I do not think that my body is meant to handle. I'm going to see it out because I've already done it this far. I might as well just see it out. But I do not think that it is like. And then I've gotten into this thing of like, it was making me feel so sick that I was like feeling sick at work.
Yeah.
And so now I just like back end it and I just do it all when I get home. And then I'm just like chugging mostly. Like I drink a little bit in the morning and then I like chug when I get home. And then it makes me just like feel really ill before I go to bed. And then I'm up peeing all night. So I'm done with the water thing next time. I'm going to do it this time, but
Yeah. You only have
it's
20
dumb.
more days.
And really, this guy, Andy Frisella, who came up with it, he's not a doctor. He can't tell me how much water my body is meant to consume. And if you look at like a 300-pound dude who's also doing this, like you're going to tell me that we need the same amount of water? I understand that it's like a challenge and you're supposed to push yourself, but
Yeah, that just seems
it's dumb.
Like a stupid part of a challenge. Like, drink a gallon of water. I mean, I think half gallon seems good.
Yeah,
And maybe in the summer, maybe it's in the middle of summer, you're sweating all day.
Right, yes.
Maybe then
for sure.
gallon, perfectly fine.
Yeah,
But
especially like we're outside all day. I'll probably drink a gallon of water because we are outside and we're sweating all day. But on the regular, it's just unnecessary. And I don't mind, like maybe I'll commit to like 3/4 of a gallon of water or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like still holding myself accountable for an amount, but it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I think it's also ridiculous. I think you're doing a great job on everything else.
Thank you.
I think two workouts a day is pretty impressive, and
Yeah.
really for the time commitment, because we were in Providence, Rhode Island, for JLC Live last week.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we did the episode with Kevin
Yes.
Choquette.
Yep.
And what was it? 3 days, I guess. You got the workouts in.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. And that's why, like, I feel like the workouts have kind of become like easy at this point when I'm like in my daily routine. I just know that every night, or I wake up in the morning before work, I work out, I come home and I go for a walk or a run or whatever.
Yeah.
But that is when I feel like thrown off, like when we were at JLC. And the first day we were driving for most of the day. Like we drove.
Yeah, you got up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I got up at 3 a.m. We drove to Massachusetts.
Yep.
Then we drove from one show to another show. So that was like hard to fit it in. But
You did
I
it.
think it's been great. Yeah.
Good job.
And I definitely think I'm going to keep doing a lot of these things beyond this. So
Yeah.
I do think that it's good. But
But you're
it
definitely
is
going to...
interesting to, like, now that I'm on day 55 of 75, so I only have 20 days left. And I feel like I'm kind of like doing well because I am in some sort of challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what's next? What challenge is next? What do I do after this? I'm going to have to do something.
Yeah. Are you going to have to do something more extreme? Or you're just something?
I think just something. Just
Yeah.
something to hold myself accountable.
I think a good thing would be eating an adequate amount of food. Because right now, I think you're not.
Potentially.
Yeah. You're working out twice a day. Yesterday, we were doing concrete work. And like all you're having is like one soup for lunch. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah.
And then you said, yeah, I'm supposed to eat 1,200 calories a day. I don't think that's the case when you work out twice a day.
You might be right about that.
I
But
think I'm
like
pretty right.
I don't know that much about dieting. I just kind of know like this. I've tried to switch my mindset of like, is this fuel for my body or is this for fun? And I'm
Okay.
trying to think like, okay, when I'm eating something, and like after we did all that concrete work, I was like lightheaded, so I was like, I need fuel. Like my body
fuel,
needs
yeah.
some sort of fuel.
Yep.
But I've never known anything about like calorie counting or like macro counting. I don't know anything about that. So I don't know. I've always just heard you're supposed to have 1,200 calories a day. Isn't that right?
No, I
But-
think it's more than that. I mean, I don't know. It's different for different people, I guess. I'm also not a doctor, believe it or not. So I'm not technically, but a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe consult somebody next time. 75 hard.
Consult a doctor.
Maybe you consult a doctor or a nutritionist and say, how many calories do you think I should be having?
Yeah. Yeah, because
so-
I wasn't really paying attention to it. And yesterday we did count them. So I was like, oh,
That's not enough.
this
Yeah,
this doesn't
Yep.
feel right.
yeah. So, but overall, going great.
Overall, still going great. Yeah.
Good job.
Really excited
Very
about it.
proud of you.
Yeah. Thank you. And I will say, I felt so guilty about the day that I did slip up with the water.
Yes.
The migraine water situation.
Yep.
And every single person that I talked to has been like, no, just keep going. Don't be
Yeah,
dumb.
that's ridiculous. That's
So I felt really guilty about it, but
you feel
as
fine
a
now.
whole, people have made me feel better about it. So
Yeah. I think if you skip like a workout or something, I think then you start over because it's like that is I still think it's kind of stupid, like 2 workouts a day. Like, it's kind of, but that's part of the challenge.
Right.
The water thing, though, like, come on. You still worked out twice that day. Amazing, amazing. Be proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Do you want to continue? Do you have more to talk about?
No. And what I'm going to stop complaining about. That will be the last time I complain about the water situation.
You promise?
I promise.
Even at work?
I'm annoying myself now about it. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Even at work. Yeah, I'll stop talking.
All right. So let's get into some of this spring cleaning of the mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
This was your idea. I'm kind of following your lead on what I need to do to clean out my mind, body, soul, and business.
Yes.
And I feel like if you really nail this down into like a concise framework, it's got the workings of like kind of cultish. You could be like a cult leader. Like, I have the prescription for your spring cleaning, mind, body, soul, and business.
Nothing would make me happier than to become a cult leader. I think that would be so fun.
I think it could be cool. Everyone could wear bright beanies like that.
Yeah,
that could
I
be
love
like
a
your
bright
thing.
beanie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
All right.
And I've broken it into 2 categories because I think that both benefit the other, and our personal lives are so entwined into our professional lives. So
It's true.
I think that everything just needs to be cleared out so they can both complement each other. So on like the personal end, I have like obviously cleaning my house, cleaning out my car. I don't know if this is true or not, but at some point someone said that Aaron Rodgers did like a week long sensory deprivation where he just like goes into a room.
I think Tom said that the other. I'm not sure what I feel like the timeline's inaccurate. Like a week of sensory deprivation seems like a recipe for psychosis.
Yeah. I did absolutely no research into what he did, but I liked the idea of it. So I thought maybe like a sensory deprivation tank, one of those like, I think you're just floating in salt water. For like an hour.
Yep.
And it's dark, maybe, or maybe like.
I think there's different zones of it. So you can do like in an open room where it's more of like a small pool, and there might be like some very dim light possibly.
Okay.
And then there's also like those sensory deprivation like pods.
Yeah.
Like where you're like in it, it's completely dark.
Yeah.
Almost soundproof. I
think it is soundproof. I think that's like part of it.
Yeah.
It's depriving you of all of your sensories.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that would be a fun little experiment to just kind of clear all the gook out. Just take some time to just
the real deep cleaning of it. Yeah. Okay.
Now that you're saying pod though, I feel like you would just be like bouncing off side to side. So maybe like the small pool might be more comfortable.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the size of these things are or like how stationary you are. Are you just like kind of floating around like you're on a pool float and you're kind of meandering?
That's what I kind of imagine.
Are you kind of stationary because the water is like heavy? It's like thick water.
Yeah. And I guess there's no wind to kind of like push you around. So maybe you are just stationary.
Maybe.
Let's see what else I put on my list. Because, well, sorry, do you have something else?
No, I was just going to say that I was going to yawn, and I was also going to say that those seem very interesting.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do like one of those sensory deprivation rooms. I think the biggest thing is the sound dampening. Mm-hmm. So it's not like completely soundproof because they made like the quietest room in the world, and it's like it absorbs like literally every tiniest little sound wave, and it will make you go insane in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
because like
I heard you can like hear the blood flowing in your ears or something. It's so quiet.
Yeah, you can hear it like flowing through your whole body. It's insane. So that's crazy. That seems kind of scary, but I think just in a in like a dark pod, I think that would be good for me because I'm so easily distracted.
Yeah,
and I think it would just bring attention to my thoughts. Not that my thoughts would get any quieter, but I think it would bring more attention to what I am thinking. So maybe I could kind of squash them down a little bit.
Yeah.
Really squash those thoughts.
I think it's good to just, I love weird stuff like that. And I love trying new things and just trying new experiences. And I think that could be one of those things that I don't think that I'm going to become a person that does it like weekly as they want you to sign up for on these websites.
Of course. Yeah. I think you could probably make one at your house pretty easily.
Yeah, I guess so.
Can you fit inside of like a 55-gallon drum? Probably not. You might need to do 2 of them together.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I think
you could probably, sure.
if you like it, I
people
think
do those like stock tank pools. Just turn that into one.
That's true. Oh yeah, that'd be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could go in your dark basement next to the hot tub.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Or I can just turn the hot tub into one during the summer when I don't want to be in a hot tub.
True. Good point.
All right. Great options.
Yeah, we got lots of options there. So what else we got? What else we got?
On the personal side, I, as I assume many people do, kind of have their finances on autopilot. I don't really think about them that often because things just come in. Everybody goes into my bank account and just pulls the whatever they need out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't really like looking at it that often, and which makes me think of like in the olden days when people used to like really go in and balance their checkbooks. Yeah. And I don't do that. So that is definitely one of the things that I'm going to do. And I'll try to go in and, my cable bill is like outrageously expensive for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And every month I look at it and I'm like, why? Why are you so much? I watch 90 Day Fiance and Pat watches sports. Like, why are we spending so much money on this? So I'd like to go in and kind of negotiate those things. And then also a workout plan. Even though I work out every single day.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have any structure around it, and I'd really like to potentially join a gym and come up with like a real plan for myself.
Yeah.
So those are the personal things.
Okay.
Do you have any personal things you want to work on?
I think one of the things I want to do is get back into a regular meditation practice. I don't know if we've talked about this, but I tend to have a lot of mental chatter.
Yes.
Mental chatter goes on a lot, which can be distracting.
Yeah.
Can be distracting. Leads to a bit of a foggy Brain situation.
Sure.
So I would like to get back into a regular meditation practice. It's so, I find the benefit of it like really profound when I get into a serious commitment to it. Like after a couple weeks, it's like, oh my God, this is like, I feel so much better. But as soon as you stop, it's so easy to like disconnect from that feeling you had of like, after like 3 days, you're just like, I don't really need to do that. And it's so easy to just stop doing it. So It's been a couple months since I've done any meditation. So I want to get back into that. And that's my number one thing for right now. I want to continue with the running. I feel like I've been doing pretty good with that. But also, I guess the only other thing is I want to keep more track of my diet.
Okay.
What I'm eating. So I feel like I've been doing pretty good just like making a little bit healthier choices. But I feel like I'm still maybe eating too much.
Okay.
And I'd like to lose like 10 pounds so I can run like the wind. Like a gazelle.
Those are great.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
I don't mean to poo-poo on them, but that's like more goal setting than spring cleaning of the mind, body, and soul. So I feel like the spring cleaning action of those two things is to figure out how they're going to fit into your life.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So this is because
just spring cleaning.
That needs to like fit into one day.
Not one day.
A weekend.
Just like
a few days.
This is like just a reset of the mind, body, and soul and business.
Yes.
Just maybe like consciously sit down and think about how those things are going to fit into your day.
All right, well, I already did the one thing, the diet thing.
Forward.
MyFitnessPal.
Oh,
got the premium version so I can even scan things.
That's great. Yeah.
Scan things so I can keep track of what I'm eating.
Amazing.
Because you can really go you can go pretty crazy with the Costco snacks.
Yeah. Oh.
When you have like
we've all fallen into that trap.
40 of nice tasty snack in your basement and it's like this is like a granola biscuit thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't say cookie on it. It tastes like a cookie. It's very easy to eat many of those. So just the fact of like you have to put it in there if you so yesterday I had one and a protein shake. I had one of those.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. And I was within my calories, so
amazing.
Normally I would be like, I might as well have like 6 more of these because they're so good. But I didn't.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
And it sounds like you've already jump-started your spring cleaning of your mind, body, and business.
Check.
So great job on that.
Now I just need to figure out a meditation plan.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll do it in the morning. There you go. Done. Check that off the list. Okay.
Done. Okay.
All right. Well, you're really slacking on your spring cleaning.
I know. I have so much.
I'm pretty much done.
I have so much.
All right. So
and that was just personal. So now we got to get professional.
Okay.
So we have 3 people working in a van.
It's getting a little tight. It's getting a little tight.
Sean doesn't even have a chair.
I don't even have a chair. It's like
So the first spring cleaning item is to clean the van, but also get Sean a chair. That's part of the cleaning of the van.
Yes.
Sean sits kind of like behind / next to me.
Yeah.
But because of the no chair situation, it just leads to him looking over my shoulder.
Not really. No, more under your shoulder because I'm like.
That's true. You're kind of sitting on the ground.
I'm sitting on a poof, which when I first started sitting on it had a decent bit of structural integrity to it. Now it is just completely flat.
Yeah.
And I'm basically sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
It's hard to get up. I have to hold on to the desk to pull myself up. My leg falls asleep. It's really not conducive for work. So I need to get a chair.
Yeah.
It's been a couple months of this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
since
not
you sit
good.
facing me, it just leads to both of us distracting each other.
Yeah.
So,
no good.
Yeah. So part of the spring cleaning, we're going to clean out the van. We're going to deep clean all of our junk drawers and really come up with good organization and storage because now there are 3 people working in there with 3 people's stuff. And I have to move that van every day. So everything needs to like go into some safe space before I drive the van. And that just has led to a bit of chaos. So
Yeah.
I will feel so much better when that thing is clean. Mm-hmm. And you get a chair.
I need a chair. Yeah. Chair. I need to get a chair. I definitely need a chair. How can you work without a chair? You need a chair.
You need a chair.
You need a chair. The poof is...
It's been ridiculous for a long time, and it's coming to an end.
It needs to go poof goodbye. It needs to disappear.
Good one.
I guess we are going to have to get rid of it because now it's not going to fit.
Now it's not going to fit.
We'll bring it into the shop. It'll be a shop poof.
It's like a cloth thing. I feel
It'll
like
get
it's just gonna
so
get, like,
dirty.
Yeah,
It'll get disgusting.
like
but
moldy.
whatever. All right, so what else we got?
But okay, so within our 3-person van situation,
Yes.
there is a little bit of overlap in the things that we do because we are all creating content.
Yes.
We have Steve, who is our videographer, and both of us still make clips, and there's just a lot of overlap in between the things that people do, and then it leads to being like, oh, did you set up the time-lapse camera? Oh, no, I didn't. I thought you did. So what we're going to do is create a checklist of each person's daily responsibilities, and then that will just be, and it's just simple because eventually we won't need it and it'll be dumb and we'll be like, I can't believe we even wrote those things down. But for now, I think if we have a good checklist of the things that each of us have to do every day, it'll just lead to some clarity. And then if one of us is out, we know what things we need to cover.
Yeah. No, I think it is a super simple thing, but being that everyone works in such close proximity, it can easily be something that one person does one day, another person does it the next day, and we want to stop doing that. We want to. We've talked about it before, like with giving Ant a more defined role, and we want to try as best we can to have specific job responsibilities for each person, so that we can be more productive. We don't spend time like, oh, are you going to do that? Do I need to do that? I don't know. Do you want to do that? Or maybe I should do it. So I think just setting up the expectations of the very simple things that we do day to day, and just putting a little bit more structure. I feel like every time we get into a good structure, something gets thrown into the loop. Like Steve came along, and now we have 3 people in the van. I feel like we had a pretty good structure of what we were doing.
Yeah.
At least from a van perspective on a day-to-day basis. Then it was, getting him integrated, getting him up to speed, and then it kind of changes everything. You need to reevaluate the delegation of tasks and just where each thing is going to fit in every day. Because there are a lot of things that we just kind of like do on a whim that could be structured into like, okay, every day at this time, we're going to respond to emails. At this point every day, we're going to respond to comments and messages on social media. Like all those things can be planned a little bit better. Mm-hmm. So that's going to feel good.
Yeah.
I think.
Definitely.
You think so?
I hope so.
Oh God, if it doesn't, then I don't know. Then I guess that's just life.
Yeah. Hopefully it calms the chaos of the van.
You know what I bet it's going to do?
What?
I bet it's going to calm the chaos of the van. I think that it's going to lead to a very streamlined productivity.
And then we're going to backfill that free time?
Oh, we'll probably backfill that free time, but then things will change and we'll get to a point where we have to do it again. We have to reassess and reevaluate and plan again.
You're saying these things are almost cyclical in nature.
They're cyclical. They're very
Interesting.
cyclical.
Interesting.
And you know what they are?
What?
Sign of growth.
Definitely.
Yeah. New growth, new problems.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, something to think
So
about.
I'm a lover of checklists. So in addition to making that checklist, I want to go back and revamp our checklist system for our jobs.
Yeah.
We created another very simple checklist for our jobs that just has like each step of the job, what date we ordered it, what date it came. It's just a very basic checklist that we can have on, well, I have it at my desk, but
Yeah.
that I can look at and I know that these things have been done just easily and quickly. It's at my fingertips. But I think that we're at a stage now where we can get a little bit more in depth with that. We've gotten pretty good at the things that was addressing. So I think that now it's time to re-up that checklist, re-up the job checklist, and get a fresh set of eyes on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then lastly, I want to organize like not only my own personal computer, but our email systems. We're kind of in each other's email a little bit. We share the info box.
Yeah.
And I am an inbox 0 type person, and Sean is an inbox 27,942 person.
Yeah. Very specific number. Yes.
So I think that we can just do some clearing out of the emails, of the storage systems, of the organization systems of content. Just go through and kind of audit those.
I think that's a great idea.
processes.
Why don't I audit your email and we'll get you down to inbox 0 and you can audit mine and work on that.
Lovely.
I think that's very fair. You know what I'm kind of realizing? A lot of it does feel like the past couple weeks, month, whatever, like it's been very chaotic. A lot of stuff's going on. It feels like there's a need to pin some things down and put some processes behind it. But do you know what I think is causing that?
What?
The fact that we're flying through jobs.
Yeah, that's true.
We're flying through stuff. Like we're doing really good. Like jobs are just like, so on that side of it, it's going really well. And I think that's due to the things that we planned for 6 months ago. Like all those changes we made the jobs go faster.
You're saying it's working?
I'm saying it's working.
It's a sign of growth?
It's a sign of growth.
Amazing.
But now the jobs are going faster. So it's like all the things that we had to do are now just condensed into a little bit of a tighter window, and some things get pushed aside, like a little bit of organization, a little bit of like, just where we're saving stuff on what hard drive, like all those things. It's a little bit more of like a scramble every day to like just keep up with what's going on. So I think it's from growth.
Yeah.
So it's not all negative.
Yeah.
It's not negative at all, actually.
It's funny you say that because the job that we're currently on, for so long, I had been looking at this current job as like, oh, that's so far in the future, because not only were they at like the end of the list, this first list that we created, they were waiting on a pool install. So it was the date was always kind of like TBD. It's the last on the list, but it's still like waiting on that. And now we're on that job. So I have been like, oh God, like,
like
what's the end of that? What's next?
Yeah.
What do we do? We have other jobs to do. We're not like, we've added onto the list, but for so long, that was my metric of like the end of the list. And it does feel like
that was like the last
bizarre
job that we sold as like a batch. Right before we shut down taking inquiries for like 6 or 8 months or whatever, however long that period was. It was pretty long that we didn't do any inquiries, just waitlisted people. So this job has been on the books and planned for like a really long time, longer than any of the other ones.
Yep.
And it did seem like such a far goalpost. Like I can't even, like, we have so much to do before we even get to this project. The clients are like amazing. They're like so cool.
They're so nice.
Just so chill, and it's turning out awesome. It's going to be it's going to be super cool because it's also like a little bit of an older house. So they had like an old deck. Like it's going to be a really good before picture. It's most of the jobs that we do are just like a completely blank slate. Like it's a decent before picture because there's nothing there. This one's like, it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Big transformation.
A true before and after picture.
A true before and after.
Because usually it's just like
it's not even
like
a before.
nothing.
It's a nothing to an after. Yeah. So, that is exciting. And I think we should step back a little bit and realize that these new problems we're having are because we solved old problems.
Yeah.
There's always going to be new
exciting to
problems.
think of it like that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be new problems. But.
Always new problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was it that I had from my mind, body, and soul freshen up.
Okay.
I can't wait for this weekend. This is where I'm going to do most of this stuff. Well, I'll try to get as far as I can.
Okay. Great. It's exciting.
Yeah. What do you think? Are you going to spring clean all your stuff too?
This weekend?
Yeah.
I think I already
already did
figured
your
it
two
out.
things?
Yeah. I'm already, my things are already checked off.
And I think you said your cleaning ladies are coming today, so your house is like going to be clean too.
Yeah, but that's like, can we spend a minute talking about cleaning ladies? Cleaning ladies have been the bane of my, I think we should just say cleaning people. In my experience, it has always been ladies that we have dealt with, but there is cleaning men.
Yeah.
I want to put that out there as
My parents have a cleaning lady and man. It's a married couple.
That's so wonderful. Yeah. That honestly sounds like the most torturous thing ever, because the one thing that leads to the most fights is cleaning. So like doing that as a job, like that would not go well. That would be torture. But I'm sure it works out well for them.
Yeah. They are not from this country. They are from Ukraine. And they were, the man was like, I want to say a dentist in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
And then he came here and you can't, I guess those things don't just like transfer or whatever.
Yeah.
So now he's their
house cleaner.
They're cleaning houses. They do a great job.
That's awesome.
And they're so nice.
That's great.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. We've had cleaning people since I was young.
Yeah.
And not that sounds like I was born like rich or something.
Yeah.
Like
the silver spoon is in your mouth. We get it.
We were actually like pretty poor, but like my mom's friend was like a cleaning lady, so Betty always came every couple weeks or whatever, and it just always, it was the worst thing. Like, oh, Betty's coming tomorrow, you got to clean up. I'm like, why? She's the one that's supposed to clean.
Right.
Why do I have to clean for her? It's like straightening things up. I've just always hated it.
Yeah.
And now it's like every other Friday or Thursday night or Friday morning, like, oh, you got to find a place for all that stuff because the cleaning ladies are coming. I'm like, this is supposed to like take stress off of our plates, and it's just adding a ridiculous amount of stress. I mean, not ridiculous might be a little bit of an overstatement, but I guess it's more of a pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
So I've always been the type, definitely as a kid, to just like shove everything into the closet, you know, and like have to put all your weight on the closet door to make it shut.
Yep.
And a little bit of that now, but I'm trying to make some roadways with that. What is that? Trying to make some
headway?
I guess, yeah. Whatever. You get the idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make some progress there.
Yeah.
And so
I wish I just can't. I want a cleaning person so bad, but I can't. I got all these dogs and stuff, and I'm worried they're going to be like in the way. But I would love someone to just vacuum the dog hair in my house. That would be delightful.
they have services for that. That's what I was just talking about. It's a cleaning person, yeah.
I should look into that.
They're great. I think they're all just like really good with animals because we've had two different cleaning crews and they're both great with Ziggy. And you know, Ziggy, he's like a little nuts.
He's a loose cannon, that one.
He's a little unpredictable, especially with people coming in and out of the door.
Yeah.
And they're fine with them.
Yeah.
They're totally fine with them. Your dogs are so docile.
My dogs are so docile, but they like to just follow. They're followers.
Yeah.
And they can't, like, especially my one dog, Mookie, he's so old.
Yeah.
He, like, can't go up the stairs anymore. He falls. He's got old man falls now. And I'm worried that would be like...
He'd try to follow them.
Yeah, and then there'd be like, they'd have like a vacuum in their hand. Or it would, in my brain, it just leads to some sort of chaos, and I can't.
Okay.
I'll just do it myself. Anyway.
All right, great. Well, that'll be part of your spring cleaning, and I guess I'll do a little tidy up around the house. I'll refresh, get back to Hamper Zero.
Oh, that's a good metric.
Yeah.
Hamper Zero.
The Hamper Zero is, I was living Hamper Zero for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It feels amazing.
Yeah.
I've spent, I would say, more than 50% of my life, like waking up in the morning and being like, what do I even have? What is clean? Don't know if this is dirty or clean because they've now become mixed. I've spent so much of my life living in that state that when you wake up and you're like, especially in the winter, when you're like, okay, I don't have to like scavenge to find warm clothing. It's like, oh, here are my undergarments, my Under Armour and my Columbia, you know, whatever they call those to sort of tight under
Long Johns.
Long John-esque.
Yeah.
They have like a silver lining inside for heat reflection. I don't think that works, but it's such a good feeling. So
Yeah.
I would like to get back to that. That's on my list. That's
Great.
going to be on my list.
That's
So
great.
We'll see how that goes. And maybe clean out my truck.
That would be great.
That would be great. It's a mess.
Or you just let Tom borrow it. He cleans it up for
That's
you.
the best. I know. I love letting Tom borrow my truck. Even if he just like goes to pick something up,
Yeah.
he'll like, you know,
He'll
pull up
do
next
a
to the
tidy.
trash can
Yeah.
at Lowe's or something. Throw all the loose cans in the trash can, which is great. So, all right. Yeah.
right,
enough
well-
on that.
I think so. Yeah. And I hope everybody else does a little spring refresh. It's so exciting.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
All right. So you want to move to the power of saying no.
No.
Oh, okay.
See what I
Sorry.
did there? See what I did there?
You got me.
Oh, just classic hijinks. What do we got time wise? Where are we at here?
We got 20 minutes left.
We just got 20 minutes left.
Or 40
Okay.
minutes.
Good, because I got a lot to say. I got so much to say. All right. This has been one of the core tenets of my life and my business is doing the things that I want to do that get me excited.
Yep.
And
What's your motto?
my motto is if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
There you go.
And, you know, as you progress in business and, you know, you bring more people on and things just get like more busy, sometimes that can get clouded a little bit and you need to remind yourself or have people remind you that you need to stick to one of those core things like the ability to say no. And we've really built our business on saying no, not on saying yes. We've said no to 10 times more things than we've said yes to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's put us in a great position where we are the masters of our own destiny.
Yeah.
We get to choose the path. We're not victims of our own decisions.
Yeah.
We are the chancellors of the decisions that we make.
That's very interesting. 'Cause
That was kind of like a bit of a ramble.
It was, yeah, but like, I feel like so we'll say certain things about like the way that we have things set up, or like, I always feel bad like bragging about, not bragging, but saying anything about like, oh yeah, we're booked out for a year or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, well, that's not like everybody's
Goal.
Well, not that it's not everybody's goal, but it's kind of like, that's not everybody's situation. I feel very privileged saying like, oh, we don't have to worry about, like seeking business because we have a year wait list.
Yeah.
But that's not really, it's because of the decisions that we've made to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I
not
mean?
like it's not like we were like, here is your 1 year wait list
Yes.
bestowed upon you.
Yeah.
Oh, chosen one. Yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't that. It's a culmination of really hard decisions that lead you to the place that you want to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's not fully where we want to be, but I think the things that I've said no to along the way have catapulted us to where we are today 10 times faster than we would have ever gotten if we were just saying yes to everything. And I think so many people, they're scared to say no, and they don't realize that no matter what, if you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else.
Yeah.
You know? So you can't say yes to everything. By saying yes to something, you've committed yourself to one thing, and now if another opportunity comes up, you can't say yes to that because now you're committed. And it comes up a lot when people want to break away from just cookie cutter stuff. That's probably the most common thing people talk to me about. Like, I'm trying to break free of that cookie cutter stuff. I want to do these custom cool spaces. And how do I do that? You have to say no to the cookie cutter jobs.
Yeah.
And people will say, well, I don't have people calling me for the super custom stuff. I'm like, okay, yeah, they weren't calling me for it either. I had to sit there and be like, okay, I don't have work today because I said no to this job. I need to really figure out a way to sell this thing I want to do. There's a lot of pressure on me. If I was just out there like, yeah, I want to do the custom stuff, but right now all I have is this 12 by 12 deck, I would never get to that point where there is pressure on me to figure it out and get to where I want to go, because people just kind of wait around for these opportunities to present themselves, and like eventually somebody will just say, hey, I want to do something really cool. Like, people don't just really say that.
Yeah.
They say that to people that have already done really cool stuff. Like, you have to build it and then they will come. Field of Dreams.
Build it and then they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was always my theory on it, and a lot of that was from saying no. And I think we've gotten to a point where we're reaping a lot of the rewards of that, but it just presents a whole new slew of things that are enticing enough that you want to kind of say yes to it, but you have to reevaluate, like, what is this going to do for me, my business, my life, and where is this going to take me? Is it going to take me to a place that I'm deciding I want to go, or is it just like, that sounds fun, I'll hitch a ride along and we'll see where we end up? I never want to be in that position. I want to be in a position where we have set the end vision and we're making decisions, whether it's things that we're creating or opportunities that are presented to us. We want to make sure that it's a part of the journey to get to this place that we have decided. We don't want to just like say yes to things and then a couple years from now just be like, oh, where are we? Well, I guess we're here or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be the captain of your own ship.
Yeah.
Boating reference.
Love that.
To put it in words that you could, you get.
I thought you meant rocket ship. We talk about rocket ships a lot.
We do talk about rocket ships a lot, but what do you think about all that?
I love it. And I think that people fall into that trap a lot of just like, you see someone, you compare yourself to someone else, you see someone else in a vastly different situation than you, and you just assume that, like, you don't assume that they were handed that, but you don't see all the things that they had to do to get to that point.
Yeah, you assume they had a different set of circumstances.
Right, yeah. So you kind of just wait for things to come to you because those things came to that other person.
Yeah.
That's how they got to where they are. So I think it's good to like be in the mindset of trying to seek those things out and saying no to anything that's not those things.
Yeah.
Or maybe just not posting about those things that you have to do to get to that other point, but
yeah.
Or not promoting it. Posting, promoting, whatever. But yeah, I think that that's not only like in this business, but I think that that's just in life.
Yeah, definitely.
Things don't just come to you no matter what. You might think they do. You might think just like someone's going to come up on the street and be like, wow, I'm going to give you a Lamborghini.
That doesn't happen?
That doesn't happen.
Mr. Beast does that sometimes.
I know, but that doesn't happen.
It's rare.
It's rare, I would say.
It's rare, okay. So don't hold out hope for that.
Yeah.
I think it's important that people take command of what decisions they're making and ultimately realize that it's on them. Mm-hmm. Like, you are the one that is making the decisions in your life, and everything good or bad can be tied back to you and the decisions that you make. So make sure that you're saying no to the things that don't take you to where you want to go.
Yeah.
If it's not a stepping stone to get to that place that you have set as like your goal or just even the next step, you need to have the courage to say no. Sometimes it's scary to say no to something that like you're not sure, you don't have the thing to say yes to yet. Mm. So you're saying no to something when there's not another thing. It's not like this or that. It's like I have to say no to this and there's not this yes thing yet. Yeah. I need to create this yes thing.
Yeah.
But I always felt like put yourself in the position where you have to make it happen. So that's what I always tried to do. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I didn't want to do. And if you say yes to the things that you don't want to do, you're going to be busy doing those things, and it's going to make you less hungry to get that thing that you want. So put yourself in a position where you got no other option but to make it work.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Captain.
And don't get distracted by those like shiny off-brand versions of what you want.
Shiny objects?
Shiny objects.
Yeah.
That might look like, oh, this isn't quite what I want, but I can make it work, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like those can be very incredibly distracting. And those come along on your way to the thing that, onto the way, they come along on the way to your yes.
Yes.
To test you.
I agree. It's like what Warren Buffett said. The key to success is write down the 25 things that are the most important things to you in your life. Spend all of your resources chasing the top 3 and actively staying away from the bottom 22 of them.
Yeah.
because those are things that are like enticing enough that will distract you, but it's not going to get you towards those like top 3 things that you really want in your life. So
Yeah.
those are the things that are the hardest to say no to, because it's like yeah, this is sort of important to me. This is enticing.
Yeah.
This seems like a really cool opportunity, but ultimately you can't chase 25 different things. You have to prioritize and dial in what you want out of your life, really. I feel like this is more of a life talk,
Yeah.
So it works in business, it works in life, and you have to know where you want to go. Maybe not ultimately, but you need to know in the short term or medium term, like what that next step is that you want to achieve, or what that version of your life looks like.
Yeah.
That's just my thought on it. What do you think?
I think you did a great job at articulating that.
Thank you so much. Do appreciate that. You got anything to add to that?
I don't think so. I think you summed it up pretty good.
That's it?
And it's also time for our secret question. So,
It is? How long was I just rambling?
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I guess that's kind of all I had on it.
That's it.
I think that's kind of all I had on saying no. It's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Love it.
So, something to think about.
Something about.
Okay. All right. What do we got for a secret question? Because I asked the last one. It is your turn.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, it's time for it.
You've met your long and healthy demise after
What?
I was trying to word that in. I was going to say you've met your demise, but I meant after like a long and healthy life.
Okay.
You had a long, healthy life, and then you die.
Naturally died of old age. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You got to plan your funeral.
Yeah. Your funeral.
Your funeral.
You gotta plan your funeral.
You got.
Okay. I'm dead though in this scenario.
Yeah, but you thought about it beforehand.
Okay. All right.
What's on the playlist?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Where I'm going in the ground, I guess. What do you mean? Where am I going? Where's the?
Are you getting? What's happening to you?
Oh, like yeah, you are. I thought you meant like where's the party gonna be held?
Oh, you can say that too.
Okay.
If you want.
This is a great question. Oh, you know what? One thing I did actually want to talk about with one more thing I wanted to add to the thing. As always, take it with a grain of salt. All of this stuff that are my theories might come from like a feeling that I need to like control things. So, take that with a grain of salt. Maybe that doesn't. Maybe you want to just like kind of go with the flow and see where life takes you. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not my outlook. So,
thank you for that disclaimer.
You're very welcome. So, all right, back to my death. What's on the playlist? I think I would want to go with something that is. I don't want it to be sad.
Okay.
But I also don't want it to be like happy. Like some people are like, yeah, throw a party, like, and just be like playing like
you want to be propped up in the corner with
EDM.
some sunglasses on.
Like that rapper and that. Did you see that?
I
think I showed you. He was propped up in like a club and he had sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And it was like his dead body and they were like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kind of like a health issue, I think. Not his health because he was expired, but
like a health violation.
Yeah, like a health violation. Yeah, like this is like a place probably serving food as well. Like you can't be having bodies just propped up. Anyway, I don't want it to be too happy, but I want it to be like a good moment for people getting together, celebrating to an extent. So I'm thinking something like Journey.
Yeah.
Something like Journey, something familiar. It has like a little bit of like maybe like a spiritual connotation.
Okay.
Wheel in the sky keeps turning.
Okay.
Now I'm in that wheel. I am a spoke in that wheel.
Keep on turning. Yep.
And I'm keep on turning.
Okay.
So I don't want like EDM, like, rave music, but I want something that is uplifting, powerful, in a certain way, maybe a little spiritual, like the wheel in the sky.
Yeah.
And don't stop believing.
Don't stop.
Don't stop believing. And everybody knows it, and then, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I want to, when I'm dead, what happens to my body is I want to just be put in the ground. No clothes, no casket, Nothing.
Okay.
Whole body, put my body in the hole.
Interesting.
Cover me up.
I feel like that leads to like at some point someone buys that land, they want to put in a pool. They might dig your bones up. And then they have to do like a
make sure I wasn't a murder.
Yeah. Then there's some sort of investigation around it.
None of that's my problem. None of that's my problem at all. I will be dead.
Okay.
But nothing weirds me out more than just rotting inside of a really nice box.
Yeah.
Like, that's just so disturbing to me.
Yeah.
It's always been so weird. So, like, if anything, maybe a wooden box. I'll do a wooden box, like a shipping crate. I would do that.
Okay.
But I do
like
not.
Some pallet, like
like
repurpose a pallet.
Exactly.
Okay.
That I'm okay with, but like.
Get $60 for those or $30.
Yeah, when you return them, yeah. So it's not a bad thing to go out in. But
I was worried about I feel like they're gonna run out of room. You look at these cemeteries; they're so big.
Yeah, right.
And it's like
that's what I'm kind of
at
thinking
a certain
too.
point, we're gonna run out of room, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. Or just like toss me into the ocean. I just want to go back to the earth.
Yeah.
In the most quick way possible. I just don't want to decompose inside of a box.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I want to be cremated because I feel like, are they doing batch cremations where like, are they mixing all the ashes together and like you're getting some of my ashes, some of somebody else's ashes? That just seems a little bizarre to me.
Yeah, that does seem a little bizarre.
And I'm sure like the chances of you like still being alive are like pretty slim, but like what if you're just in a really deep sleep and then they shove you into an incinerator? Don't know if I want that.
Yeah.
So
you do run that risk.
Imagine
but I mean, if you're in a box
at a cremation place.
Oh God, yeah.
I
guess
never
somebody
even thought about that.
That's pretty sad. Yeah. When I worked at an animal, I feel like this might be getting a little too dark. But
Yeah.
I worked at an animal shelter and they had like a cremation thing for the dogs, but eventually they had to stop using it because it got so expensive. And I was like, I don't understand why this is expensive, but that's what they kept saying.
To run it?
Yeah.
Oof. All right. Anyway. All right. So
Too dark.
What do you got? What do you got on your what's your playlist?
My playlist. Okay. So I would say I have a pretty varied taste in music. I like a little bit of everything.
Okay.
And I would like my playlist to reflect that.
Okay.
So I would love like some Celine Dion ballads.
Okay.
Because they're beautiful and amazing and they might touch on the heartstrings a little.
My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah, sure.
Is that her song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, like sprinkle some of that in. Sprinkle some like I love Incubus. Sprinkle some of that in.
Okay.
Maybe some old timey. I probably wouldn't go Journey, but maybe some classic rock like the Eagles. I love the Eagles.
Okay.
James Taylor.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Got to put James Taylor, Bonnie Raitt in there. Those are two of my go-tos.
Okay.
So I just want it to be varied. Just a little bit of everything.
I think my main thing is I want it at some point, maybe like everyone's like arm in arm.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're singing along to something.
That would be a beautiful moment.
As my body is suspended from the ceiling or something before I just get thrown into the earth.
This whole time you were in the rafters and then they put you down as some sort of like angel situation.
I was alive the whole time.
It's your moment.
Yeah. I see the people that didn't show up. People that weren't singing. Anyway.
All right. We'll have to fake your death to see
how this works out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think that's morbid enough for today. What do you think?
I think that was a great way to end this. I feel like I need some mental spring cleaning after talking about my own death. So,
this all came around because I needed some mental spring cleaning, and I clearly haven't gotten those cobwebs out yet.
You have not. Definitely not. So
I'll get back to it next week.
Next week, it's going to be a whole new crew of people, and we'll see if I run that 11 miles tonight.
You will. I believe in you.
Thank you.
Just be careful about what you eat, because if you eat something crazy at dinner,
it'll be dark, so I can
around.
Yeah, I can do a pit stop behind a tree or something. Nobody will see me. Anyway.
Horrible. Okay. Anyway.
Till next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
See you next week.